Think about the person you've bailed out the most, the one you defend when nobody else will, the one you lend money to, give your time to, sacrifice your own peace for. Now think about how they actually treat you. If you're honest, they don't treat you with gratitude. They treat you with a quiet, simmering hostility. You did everything right. You showed up, and somehow, you ended up being the villain of their story. Every day you don't understand this dynamic. It costs you something. It costs you your energy. It costs you your peace. And sometimes, it costs you years of your life spent in the wrong direction. You keep pouring more help into the hole, thinking eventually they will recognize it. Eventually, they will appreciate it. But this isn't about appreciation. This is happening to you right now. And if you don't understand the invisible force driving it, it will keep happening. I'm not going to tell you they are just a bad person. That's too easy. What's actually happening is far more uncomfortable. So let's go deeper than most people are willing to go. When you help someone, really help them, something shifts in the room. You become the one who has. They become the one who lacks. You become the one who can. They become the one who needs. In the beginning, they might say, "Thank you." They might even mean it. But over time, the gratitude sours, because receiving help creates debt, not financial debt, emotional debt. And emotional debt is something the human ego cannot stand. Every time you save them, you are holding up a mirror that shows them their own inability to handle their life. They don't want to look in that mirror, so they look for a way to shatter it. And the easiest way to shatter the mirror is to destroy the person holding it. Think about the last time someone did that to you. You've felt it. That moment when you realize the person you helped the most is now the person who talks about you the worst. Friedrich Nietzsche spent years trying to understand why this happens. He called it ressentiment. Something much deeper and far more destructive. Ressentiment is what happens when someone feels powerless, but they can't act on it directly. They can't attack you for being strong, because they need your strength. They can't attack you for being generous, because they rely on your generosity. So the anger stews beneath the surface. It ferments. It turns into a silent, bitter vengeance. They start looking for your flaws. They make sideways comments about your life. They try to find any way to drag you down, just to balance the scales in their own head. When someone lives in this state, their entire identity becomes built around being the victim. They convince themselves that because they are struggling, they are good. And because you are succeeding, or at least stable enough to help them, you are somehow bad. Your competence becomes an insult to their existence. You see this when they dismiss your achievements. You see it when they mysteriously disappear when you actually need support. You are experiencing their ressentiment firsthand. And your response? You try to help them more. You think if you just show them enough patience, the bitterness will fade. But it doesn't. Because every new act of help just adds to their emotional debt. You are feeding the very beast that is biting you. Sit with that for a moment. You keep waiting for the relationship to find a balance, but it never will, because the dynamic is built on inequality. You are the savior. They are the saved. But here is where we have to stop talking about them. Turn that around for a moment. Now, apply that to yourself, not to them, to you. Why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep showing up for someone who punishes you for it? The uncomfortable truth is this: you need them to stay weak, because as long as they are weak, you get to be the strong one. Being the person who fixes everything gives you a quiet sense of power. It makes you indispensable. You aren't just giving them help. You are buying their dependence. You are buying a relationship where you never have to be the vulnerable one. You complain about how heavy the burden is. You tell your friends how exhausted you are. But you won't put the burden down, because if you stop saving them, who are you? What is your value if you aren't fixing someone else's life? Nietzsche understood this perfectly. He saw that the desire to pity someone is often just a disguised desire to rule them. Your kindness is just control wearing a nicer mask. Think about what happens when you finally have a problem. When your life falls apart, they are nowhere to be found. Or worse, they minimize your pain because it threatens their monopoly on suffering. And still, you go back. You pick up the pieces for them again. Because facing your own empty rooms, your own unsolved problems, is terrifying. It is so much easier to obsess over someone else's broken life than to take responsibility for your own. Connect those two things, and something becomes clear. What would happen if you just stopped? What if the kindest thing you can do for someone is to let them fall? To let them face the consequences of their own choices? It will feel cruel. They will call you selfish. They will tell everyone that you abandoned them. Let them. Because as long as you keep catching them, they never have to learn how to stand. And as long as you keep catching them, you never have to face your own life. You aren't keeping them safe. You're keeping them small. And they will never forgive you for it. The strongest thing you can do right now is walk away and let the chips fall exactly where they belong. You've spent years waiting for them to change, to see you, to choose you, to finally say thank you. They won't. They never were going to. And somewhere, you always knew.